Okay, so here I am on an upslope. I stuck the vertical rod into the ground at a 90 degrees to the slope. If I set up, feel like I'm balanced, I'm already leaning back behind the golf ball. Now on an upslope, there's no ground behind the golf ball. Where on the downslope, there's ground behind the golf ball as it's sitting on there. So our options become multiple. First is I can get in here and set up just like we're doing on the flat surface, feeling like we're set up with the gravity going nose, shirt buttons, belt buckle, all in the middle of the feet. Now as the club swings back and through, it might skim off the ground, it might crash into the ground, but because we're landing the club up by those front three golf balls, we're gonna get golf ball contact first in that motion. So if I come in here, set up narrow stance, balls in the middle, grips pointing at the lead hip, then putting my hands on there, making my motion up and through, it might crash, it might avoid. Just from years of chipping on little upslopes, you might avoid it with just a little bit of elbow bending, a little bit of raising the body, or we might just stay down, keeping the arms long and allowing it to crash, or maybe the bounce kind of helps skims it off the bottom. Other option, if I want to go slightly higher than a stock shot would do, so if I set up with gravity, just like on flat ground, the ball should come out the same trajectory as our flat. If we set up with just a little tilt behind, now it's in essence moving the ball slightly forwards, so it's going to play like it's one ball forward. So we just got to be careful we don't get matching the slope too much or leaning behind it, that we start entering the ground way too back. So as I'm taking my rehearsal swings, if I want to go a little bit higher, maybe I'm set up just slightly behind it feeling, but a little bit more matching that white stick without all the way matching it. Now as it swings, the club wants to touch the ground just a little bit more behind the golf ball. It's also gonna feel like the handle's less forwards than when I was up and down. So now everything's set up with more loft as I swing it. It might feel like it's going a little bit more up the hill, but on that one, I still landed a little bit early, but it gave me a little bit higher shot. Now the other options, if I want to go higher, would be ball slightly forwards. Same stock setup, just like we're doing off the flat ground. Grip still pointing into that lead hip, taking my grip, and then from there, making my same motion like I was pretending I was on the flat ground. Or I could open the face a little bit more. So on the upslope, just watch out that we don't get leaning too much or matching the slope with the shoulders or tee, that we still feel like we're matching gravity just a little bit. That way we can land it closer to the golf ball and then use our knowledge, our information of our golf ball positions and a little bit of adding loft if we want to go higher. If I want to go lower from an upslope, same thing. Golf ball comes in, slightly back from our narrow stance. It's going to feel like I'm matching gravity, chest on top of hips, handle pointing at the lead hip. Now as I do this, the more I get the handle forwards, the more the leading edge is going to dig into the ground. But we should get golf ball first as it comes out. So you can see a little divot came out, but I got golf ball before the ground, launched out lower, as opposed to trying to lift it up or shove the hands forwards in the stroke, trying to lower that launch.